We are Swag Vintage AZ, and here we are thrifting today. It was my goal to blow my budget because I didn't have much to start with and I really wanted to thrift. First stop, this bowl. It looks like it's made in Mexico, but it wasn't the highest quality, so I let that one pass. And then, not a lot today on the shelves, but I found this really fantastic studio pottery piece. It's a pinch pot, looks like an ashtray, really rustic and rugged. Love the brown and the teal, so I picked that one up. That antelope looked nice, but this one caught my eye. Looks like maybe it was some sort of lantern seed pot kind of thing. I was looking for the signature on the bottom, but it's actually on the side. It's a fabulous piece. It didn't have a price tag, but it ended up being only $3.50. So I definitely grabbed this gorgeous piece. And I'll tell you more about it later because I did research it. Left this little guy behind. They don't sell well, even though he was in great condition. For this mug, I don't think I ended up picking it up just because it was $2.50 and it wasn't very spectacular. In the clear glass, I was totally mystified by this piece. It's cast metal, very heavy. I noticed it looked like it had a break at the top, but what is that? I don't know. And this piece, I was excited about the shape. And I think it was either pewter or silver, actually probably silver, but it wasn't, I mean, it's $5.50 and it was not remarkable in any major way. So I left that one behind. Into the glassware, and I spotted this lemon glass and then many, many more. Flipped it over, sure enough, it's Libby. So I snagged all of them. I love the bright colors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I actually found another one, so I have 9. Okay, so this piece was a beautiful beach scene, and I sold 2 recently that were really similar. It was a great sale for me. The frame looked vintage. The painting was pretty good quality. What I'm looking for here is stretched canvas or board. This was canvas on board, which is not ideal. I prefer stretched canvas. I think it's a little bit higher quality. Has this sort of velvet outline, good price, so I put it in my cart to think about it, and I did end up picking that up. Here we have a really well done cross stitch of some Southwest pots, and when I flipped it over, I found out that it was from the 90s, so I went ahead and picked that up for, I think, $4.50. I loved this painting. I wish I had been able to pick it up, signed on a stretched canvas. The colors were fabulous. The quality was really good. Nice artistry, but it was $17.50, so I just couldn't pick it up for resale. And then I spotted out of the corner this hunk of wood. I am a sucker for hunks of wood, always and forever. This one was signed. It had this hand-painted flower on it. For $5, not great for resale, but I ended up keeping it. I have a place for it in my library. Into the clocks. I love clocks. I always check them. And I am a sucker for wooden bowls too. This one was great. However, had a chip, so I had to leave it. And yet another wood bowl. This one has such a cute look. It's like a pea pod for only $3.50. A little banged up, but I'll show you later what it looks like after I oiled it. Into dishware, some vintage looking stoneware, but of course just one bowl and not too exciting. This piece I really liked. Sadly, it's unsigned, but it's a nice Southwestern piece, hand painted, really bright cherry color, so I went ahead and picked that up. Oh, and now I'm remembering, I had picked up an identical one just right before, and so I was on the search for it. However, it turned out I had picked it up, set it down, and then when I found its mate, tried to get the pair, but it was just the same one. Someone else had picked it up and put it on another shelf. Okay, here we are, looking at lamps, of course, my favorite section. I really liked this pale amber glass vintage twisted lamp. I always look at the plugs to see kind of how old they are. I liked it. Maybe I should have picked it up, but I ended up passing on it. It was a little large. And then I found this tiny brass beauty with the cut brass geometric shapes. Really lovely. Old. I mean, look at that. Electric. Still seemed to be in working order. And then there it is, the pair. So definitely brought both of these home. I was really excited to find them. $6.50 each, both in good shape. I always at least check the mechanism, and there they are, brought them home. Into the furniture, I only look for chairs and end tables typically because furniture is large. I don't like moving heavy things. I really liked this chair, very pretty mid-century modern. I think it was teak. The fabric I wasn't too keen on, and here I'm looking to see who made this, and it is Benny Linden Design, which is a great designer, and so I put it in my cart, but later they forgot to ring it up, and so I left it. All right, on to the next stop. I risked it and grabbed a cart. I don't always grab a cart. I'm not super superstitious though. They looked like vintage ornaments. I'm not great at finding these, so I was really basing that on the little metal pieces. I held them in my cart, but they were a little too damaged. Very cute stained glass coyote, pretty good price, in great condition. I said yes to that. And then this amazing cougar, which is actually made out of probably plastic. I was going to say lightweight resin, but let's be honest, I think it's plastic. I still picked it up because I think it would be great in our antique booth, and it's a unique piece. It's really kind of funny. You may have seen these lurking in the background. I was so excited when I spotted them. I put them immediately in the cart and didn't bother to continue to film. These mid-century poodles with their Japan stamps are worth quite a lot. And then there was just a ton of animals on that shelf. I picked up that owl as well. And these were the things that initially caught my eye. Not remarkable in any way, so I left them behind. And these bunny rabbits, I thought maybe they'd be something, but no, just contemporary made, and I left those behind as well. This wooden bird, I loved the hand carved, and I loved his face, so I went ahead and picked him up. I'll probably put him in the booth. I like antlers. I think they sell well in the booth, but this one had a broken point, so I left that behind. And here we had just a ceramic piece. It was pretty. I probably should have picked it up, but I think oh, nope, there's a chip. Never mind. I left it. Moving along, I thought these looked great from a distance, but once I picked them up, they were very lightweight, not high quality studio pottery pieces, so I left those. And these, maybe there's something, I don't know. All of the bottoms were covered. I wasn't super attracted to them, to be honest, so I don't know if I missed out on something, but I left those. These I love. They're obviously late 80s, early 90s. So Parker Lewis can't lose TV show. But in my local market, I don't think that the postmodern late 80s, early 90s has really hit yet. This, however, was a nice heavy duty Restoration Hardware candelabra. It's fall, so I thought this would go great in the booth for someone to pick up. These brass candlesticks holders, they're not great quality, but I'm collecting a bunch for a lot sale, and so I grabbed them. Again, here we are with that matching dishware. It has a date on it. Just so great. I wish I could sell these, but I just didn't think they would sell. And they had so many. They had the lunch plates, the dinner plates, and then heading over to the bowls, they had the bowls, and of course all those mugs. But I left them all behind. I'm sad. Okay, here's a nice napkin holder. It was silver, and it was cute, but it was just a little too nautical. So I ended up leaving that behind after carrying it around in my cart for a while. Loved this sweet little duck bookend. Did not have its pair, but I ended up giving it to my daughter, who gave it to a friend who's obsessed with ducks. So there you go. Into the lamps, and I found this adorable little owl vintage lamp. I'm not like super into owls, but I really, really like this one. Good clicking when I checked it, and just too cute. Nice and heavy. Here's my cart for this particular stop. It was Animal Day, just so many animals. I couldn't believe it. And a lot of birds. During my second lap, I found this interesting tour boat planter, so I picked that one up. And then I found this silly gorilla. He was holding something, but he's dated 1973, so I went ahead and grabbed him because he was a good price too. And then found this book, which I think is going to be great for staging for the holidays. Nice bright colors and very vintage looking, so added that to the cart as well. I definitely blew my budget. Oh, and there's a mirror. Forgot about that. I spent about just under $100. So here we are at home. Bad lighting on this one, but this painting turned out really cute, and I actually used it in like all of my staging for all of these items, and it was more versatile than I thought. So here I have the ceramic owl that I picked up, staged. I took some photos, but he'll end up in the booth. And then this is that wood pea pod bowl, all oiled up. I actually used a very fine grit sandpaper to get rid of some of the water stains on it, and then wood oil, and it is like sparkling like new. I like to decorate with a little bit of humor. Put that gorilla in there. He's cute. And then this makes a really cute, great, unique candle holder, this studio pottery piece. I love it with these colors. It looked really cool with the painting. I'm super happy picking this one up. And look at this piece, all cleaned up, really gorgeous. So I did a little research. It's a 1980s ceramicist studio pottery named Karma with a C. And there are several of these available. They all have a very similar vibe. It's actually a lantern. There's that Restoration Hardware candelabra. I filled it with a bunch of different colors of candles, mostly because, I don't know, I just didn't have all one color. Again, looks great with this painting. I was so surprised. And here is my favorite, maybe my favorite pick of the whole adventure, this sweet little owl lamp. So for lamps that don't have shades, I like to put the new Edison LED bulbs with like an amber lighting, and then they have, I think it's called like a squirrel cage filament. I may have the terminology wrong, but it has a really nice glow to it, doesn't hurt your eyes, and you can have a bare bulb in a room. This was working great. I was so excited. And then I took this video where I wanted to demonstrate how well it worked. And as I move in and click it on, guess what happens? Oh no. So this little guy needs some rewiring. It's a simple procedure, but and then I got frustrated. This was actually from the first video we have on our YouTube channel, but I wanted to show off this brass dish. It's so huge. It's perfect for me because I have a lot of really chunky vintage jewelry. Makes a great place for those. And then this pair of lamps, I'm so excited. Again, I used the LED. They both work and they don't fade out on me. So I'm super excited. I think I'm gonna list these online. And then finally, those lemon glasses. This is just a little reel that I made for Instagram. And a reminder that we are called Swag Vintage AZ. You can find us on Instagram, on Etsy, offer up for local pickups, and then of course this YouTube channel and Brass Armadillo in Phoenix. Thanks.